All right. Okay. Let's listen to some Mr. Ballin. Hopefully that won't be a copyright issue. I hope it won't be because I'm not going to be putting it on screen. Or will I? No, but I like listening to him while I'm working. So we'll just have a nice, chill, relaxing little stream here.
See is, this little cabin, and
All
there's,
right.
firewood outside stacked up
So
with snow all over
what
it.
I
There's
am
loads of
doing,
snow in the cabin, and there's snow kind of drip.
I have in the objective system, and this will probably be split up into multiple files eventually, but I have an arrive at goal, and let's add one more goal just because. So another goal would be, collect item. I'm just going to go with what is this? Non-nullable field must contain a. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to ignore that for now. So I think the thing here is what I'm trying to do is I have this goal scriptable object and I want to type, right? Like I want to name like question, and then it's going to be type. I want this to basically be an enum made up of these classes. Or do I want it to be, yeah, I guess well, let's just move forward with that pattern. Ah, God. Ooh, the poison ivy that I had, it still haunts me somewhat. All right, let's listen to Mr. Ballin.
Drifted up on the front door, making it seem like nobody's come in or out of this cabin for some
So I'm going to
time.
leave that there, but what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to define. I want to have an attribute type on this and on this, and then I want this to be an enum of the types that I define in the attribute. Or I guess I could just use reflection in anything that derives from goal. Maybe that's a better way to do it.
Where Dmitri calls out for Vladimir, but there's no response.
Let me
so,
see.
with some level of trepidation,
I did ask AI what
Dmitri
to do.
begins walking up towards his cabin. And when he gets close enough to the front door, he notices something weird. He sees that the front door of this cabin has clearly been boarded up from the outside.
Goal type
There's this big piece of metal
no.
that's been placed, basically blocking the door, so nobody could go inside of it. And so Dimitri's thinking, like, why would you do this unless you were leaving the cabin? But why would Vladimir leave the cabin? Like,
Goal
where is he?
type.
I don't understand what's going on here.
What is this?
So
I don't want
Dmitri goes
that.
up to
Why
this
is it
piece of metal
adding
and
things
pries
to
it
it?
off the front door.
I don't want it to
and then
add
swings
things.
open the front door and he looks inside, and everything is pristine. Vladimir is not inside.
Approach.
The cabin looks
Instead,
immaculate. There's still firewood, there's still food, there's no sign of chaos, no sign of any struggle whatsoever. Like everything looks exactly like it should. And so Dmitri, he began walking around inside of this cabin, looking for any clue as to what happened.
Let's do it based off of all classes that are derived from base goal. All right, I think that's a good approach. It's going to have a nice, chill, relaxing little Saturday morning. Okay, perfect. Let's drop the attribute entirely and build a picstrator from a non-abstract classes that derive from base goal. Perfect. Perfect. Is that you, Matthew, listening? Oh, wait. I can do this. Okay, I started the event in Discord, so there's really nobody signed in the Discord right now except Lord Watkits and Sad. Nobody else. Matthew's not around. Not Sure is not around, but I just assume Not Sure is drunk. Okay, so for context, okay, it's not going to be abstract, but I guess that's fine. I guess we could see about making it abstract. Okay, serializable reference. Serializable handle a system type. Okay, so what is this doing? Assembly qualified name. Public, it's returning a type. I forgot that type is keyword in C#. So you get it. It's not, no. Okay, get type, that's fine. Set type, I don't quite understand. Oh, okay, so this is just to get the name. I see, okay. Scriptable object that uses it. So scriptable object, serialized field, gold type. Goal type reference, goal type. I don't like that all of this stuff. Oof. This is a lot. This is a lot. Well, what's this doing here? Okay. I think what we'll do, let's just do it manually because I don't want to get hung up on trying to be like all clever with C Sharp's reflection system and type, like C Sharp's reflection and type system, which is actually very nice, especially coming from a C++ background. It's very, very nice. However, this might take a while. I don't think this, I mean, if you're just copy and pasting AI code without looking at it, then you don't do that. Don't do that. But I think we'll just do it manually for now, right? So I guess it would be public enum. Yeah, the AI here has already got me. Goal type. Yeah, goal type. Arrive at location, collect item, defeat enemy, interact with object. I mean, that's a good one too. But let's just start with the two that we have. I'm actually going to have these. Okay, so then this would be goal type. It's going to bug me so much that this enum is not dynamically generated, but it's all right. Okay, so goal type. Now, this needs to be public. So what do we do here? What do we do from here? Arrive at goal. Right. So I think now you would create another scriptable object. We'll just do it in the same file. Create asset menu. Yeah, so the AI knows where I'm going with this. New arrive at location. I'm just going to do new arrive at goal. And game goals. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let me do this. Goals. Arrive at goal. Okay. And then that's going to be a class in and of itself. All right, I'm going to put Mr. Ballin back on, and if anybody comes in and starts chatting, then I'll go ahead and chat. Actually, let me put a little message in the YouTube page. YouTube stream, I should say. Okay, because I have to go through here to get to the chat room. Chill Saturday morning stream. Pop in and say hi. We're listening to Mr. Ballin. All right, let me spell this correctly. Let me put a dot there. Okay. And yeah, there it is. We'll pin that. Perfect. Okay. So we'll just do it manually. Public class, arrive at goal. Yeah, this is fine. Collect item goal, collect item. And then, I mean, collect item is going to have to be fixed at some point, but I think it's fine if we just kind of push forward. If we just push forward, if we push forward with what we have. Okay, let me see. I'm going to copy the stream. Is there anybody I want to send the Saturday morning stream to? Let's see. Who should we send the Saturday morning stream to? Okay, let's just put Mr. Ballin back on.
Happened to Vladimir, but there was nothing until he got to the firewood. He
And
noticed that
you know what? Instead of Mr. Ballin, we're going to listen to the Louis T. We're going to listen to About My Commanders.
Will Harris. But when he was talking about these edge rushers, and you could see he was shaking his head, he was smiling, and he had that little growl on his face, like, yeah, this is some bullshit. When he was just naming off all the edge rushers, Dietrich and Dorrance now, and Javante, and you can see his face, like, with every name, like, so he had to hit the obligatory, injuries are a thing around the league. And, we just got to find a way to, overcome them. But, in his heart of hearts, he was like, them shits hurt, bro. And he basically said, them shits hurt. Like, next man up, we got to figure out a way. And he said, we've devised a scheme that will allow us to circumvent these injuries for this particular game. And the next week, we'll have to come up with a new scheme. It won't be the same every week, but we feel like we've got a scheme that will allow us to be effective in this game. Okay. If you say, we'll see. He then talked about the identity of this team, and DQ has stressed that all week long. Identity, identity, identity. He said, run and hit team. We are supposed to be a run and hit team. We haven't been that way because we are playing to.
To anybody that's just popped in, I see there's a couple people, and if you're popping in, it's just a chill Saturday morning stream.
Too slow. That's why we're paring down the defense so we can play faster, so we can run and hit.
Where did my posts go?
You say. We'll see.
Let me see.
I'll believe it. You'll believe it. All of us will believe it when we see it. Communication. He talked about communication, and this is when he brought up Will Harris. He said a lot of people, he's like, the communication, we've got some good communicators on this defense. But he said, one of the best communicators was Will Harris. A lot of you don't really talk about Will Harris and don't understand the magnitude of his loss on this defense. He was one of our best communicators defensively. And he said, right now, the communication isn't good enough. It's good some weeks. It's good on some plays. It's good on some quarters. In some quarters, it's not good consistently enough.
All right.
We have to be better communicating. We have to be better flying to the football. We have to be better and more consistent on defense. He said, we're doing this on defense, right? Which they were doing that. The last 2 weeks, it's just been this, right? And the last 3 out of 4 weeks, it's just been this. It's really the Chargers game that has held them up, right? Because if you go back to week 4 in the Falcons game, that's what the defenses really look like. I mean, we could argue that the Bears game, they weren't terrible in that game, but we were up 8 with a chance to put the game away. And they, just like on Sunday against Dallas, they give up a big explosive for a touchdown, or basically explosive for a touchdown. And you can't win that way. You can't win that way. So he talked about Mahomes. We don't have to get into that. We know what Mahomes is. He's the best in the business. I don't know what we're going to do to try to stop him, but good luck. We're going to need it. He then talked about explosives and takeaways. And those are the two things that have hurt us the most. We don't get any takeaways.
To anybody watching, isn't there a way to get the world coordinates? Because this position here for this lamp, it's the position to its parent. But I want the world coordinates. Surely there's a way to do it.
We give up probably the most explosives in the league. I dare you to find a team that gives up more explosives than us. And maybe there are teams that do. It just doesn't feel like it. With the games that I watch, I see teams give up explosives every week, but it feels like no one's giving up more or bigger ones than us. Maybe some teams may actually.
You can easily add a new editor menu.
But you can't tell me that there have been teams that have given up bigger ones. Like we give up the 50, the 60 variety like it's nothing. The 55-yarder down the sideline to DeAndre Swift, the 60 whatever yard that was to CeeDee Lamb, the 40-something yarder to George Pickens, to set them up right before the half. Like we give up the extreme, like there may be teams that give up explosive 27, 25, 29. They're not giving up 40, 55, 65s like we're giving up. 57 to Tucker Craft up the seam. Like they're not giving that shit up like we are on a routine basis, it feels like. So he then
from
said
2010.
that he's confident the changes will help to mitigate the explosives and increase the takeaways. We don't believe you. You need more people. Well, we're going to watch. We're going to see if these changes
put this C# script in assets editor folder. You should now have a new debug. Okay, so let's try.
Do you good? We watching. We're going to say if this change does them any good. We hope. Fingers are crossed. I'm not holding my breath because I'm not looking to die on Monday night. Holding my breath and not being able to breathe. But I'll be watching. Good luck with these so-called changes that you're going to make. We're going to need them against Patrick Mahomes and one of the best offenses in football. He then talked about blitzing, and he said, we blitz the third most in the NFL. And I'm like, you do. Yeah, hey, you want to know why Marshawn Lattimore is getting cooked? Joe Witt told us this last year, and he didn't tell us a lie. They don't protect the corners, in case you haven't seen. A lot of you are like, well, I don't have a safety over the top. They usually don't. The middle of the field is usually closed with this defense. They usually don't have middle of the field open with two safeties over the top and the middle of the field being wide open. They usually have middle of the field closed, which means the corners are on the outside on islands essentially by themselves. That was the case last year. That's the case this year. So he hasn't really changed philosophically. The results are just worse this year. And look, you can't say you need to blitz Joe Witt. He blitzes, and then you get mad when you give up big plays down the field. I'm not upset at him leaving these corners on the island.
What's this option?
They got a job to do, right? I'm upset because the blitzes aren't creative.
Let's see.
That's my problem. I don't give a shit that you blitz the third most in the NFL. They're not productive blitzes.
Oh, it's
Who cares
JavaScript.
if you blitz?
I don't know.
If it's the same blitzes,
I don't know anything
they get
about
picked
that.
up and they're not
I don't know
creating
what it
free
is.
runners.
I mean, I guess we'll just work with this. But
it doesn't matter if you blitz the third most. If the shit is unproductive.
C#.
Blitzing 5 and just running up the A gap and having the shit picked up doesn't make you.
We'll do it manually. We'll just do it ourselves.
We're blitzing the third most in the league. Who cares?
Do I really need to install system forms?
It's not producing pressure. It's not producing turnovers.
Or system windows, clipboard.
I watched Todd Bowles blitz, and you don't know where the shit's coming from.
Let's see.
You don't know who's dropping. You don't know if it's a safety, if it's a corner.
Yeah.
I watch all these creative
clipboard utility
blitz from all over the field, and you do the same shit, but you want to.
What is clipboard utility? All right, well, let's see. Let's check out what is in clipboard utility. I'm guessing that's some Unity built-in thing. Yes. And what do we have? Pasted game objects, copying game objects. Okay, let me see. Unity, copy text to clipboard. Let's see how you do it in Unity. I'm sure there's a, okay, here we go. GUI utility, system copy buffer. I'm going to not, do I trust AI or do I trust code from 2009? That's a good question. Ooh, excuse me. Well, you can definitely put stuff in the clipboard with .NET. However, I think that's similar to the answer that no. Well, let's just try this. I mean, whatever. Here we go. Okay. Okay, maybe that worked. Let's see.
Tout that you're the third most blitz happy team in the NFL. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Your sim pressures don't work.
Oh my God.
Your double A gap blitzes don't work.
So,
half the time you drop one guy and the one that doesn't blitz.
This is a guy talking about the Washington Commanders. He's a very popular YouTuber, a very popular Washington Commander YouTuber that I listen to all the time during the NFL season. And we're playing, well, the Washington Commanders play the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday night. And they're going to get destroyed. They're just going to get so destroyed. It's not even funny. It's kind of sad. They're just going to get destroyed. Oh, man. It's going to be so bad. Okay. So let's see. Did we copy it? I guess we just paste it here. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So that's good. Okay, what was the point of that? I don't even remember what I was trying to do. I got so distracted. I think I was trying to create. Okay, so here I have objectives. I'm just going to name this objective system. Okay. My wife, she can talk and talk and talk and talk. She is a chatterbox. Oh my gosh, she is a chatterbox. Is there any way copy property search? I can't paste. I guess whatever I copied is not copied in the correct format. All right. I mean, that's fair, I guess. But all right, so we'll come over here. 382.24. So we're going to go 382.24, 0.0. We'll just go 0. And then 37.4.41. And then the arrival distance is 10. Okay, so this isn't actually wired up yet, right? Like the scriptable object is not actually wired into... So what I was trying to do earlier is I wanted to have, I moved everything. So my files are closed. Let me see. Let me just find everything. Okay. So I have these goals, and what I wanted is I wanted a field in the goal that tells you what type it is. But you know what? But then I ended up just using the type. Well, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so if I have a goal scriptable object right here, arrive at location, new goal, new arrive goal. So this actually shouldn't even be an option, right? Because we don't, maybe... We'll keep it for now, actually, because what I was getting at is it's like an abstract goal object. Do we need to have that? Okay. So we have the name, the description, and then we have over here what we would do. We would probably have something like, let's just do this. Public. This would be an arrive at goal scriptable object. I'm just going to call it goal data. And this is going to be get private set. Now, why is this green? Non-nullable goal data. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So right now we have this objective system. There's the objective manager So I broke it. So my goal was to break this into two, but I keep moving things around. Objective manager. So the objective manager is a mono behavior. The objective system is not. So the way I think about this is a system would be the system, right? Like if you're a janitor, the system is cleaning the school, but the janitor would be the manager because the manager is the one doing the work. The system is the work. It is the thing upon which the manager works. That's how I kind of look at it. So that's why you would have this objective manager and this objective UI manager. I don't know why I called it objective UI. I'm just going to call it objective manager. So basically, I want to be able to accomplish with scriptable objects what we accomplished last night, but a little more elegantly. So this is going to have an initial objective. So and I put this on the player object, I believe. And then actually an interesting consequence of this, I'm trying to think if what I'm going to say is true. It's not true completely, but the way this is designed, you could have NPCs have objectives, which is kind of neat because then you could have like an objective controller, which is basically the state machine controller for the NPCs. So you could have NPCs doing objectives, which is, I don't know. I can see how that all falls in line though. Like it would be kind of cool. And I really kind of want to write a game that actually uses oh, you know what? I don't even want to say it. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to end up doing it and I'm going to end up getting sued. No, that won't happen. Okay. So I think the initial objective needs to be a scriptable object. And then the objective system, this could be, I'm thinking the objectives. So we need a factory. Should the objective manager be the singleton? I got to think about this for a minute because I feel got to be careful here because you can run into a situation where the objective system and the objective manager are kind of the same, like really belong as one class, but now you've split them into two, or like you can run into weird situations like that. I think I'm going to keep it as it is for now, but we can always change it later. There's no shame in refactoring your code. All right. I was going to listen to Louis T, but I don't know if I am. I'll put Mr. Ballin. My wife, I hear her downstairs talking. It is crazy. It's just chatterbox. And like, she just doesn't let anybody talk. She's just talk. She's apparently right now, my wife is Thai. So there is big news in Thailand because so they had this king for a long time, King Adoyade, I think was his name. And he was king, and then he died a few years ago. Actually, I think it was like 10 years ago at this point. But his wife, as often happens, his wife outlived him. She survived him. And, what is that? And so she just recently died. So that's big news, apparently, in the Thai community, is that like King Adoyade's wife died. Let's look this up really quick. Thailand queen death. Yeah, she was 93. Oh, she was a pretty woman in her day. Look at that. Queen Sirikit celebrating her 88th birthday. She rarely appeared in public after she had a stroke in 2012. Oh, that's right. My wife was telling me about that. Like she couldn't talk or do anything. Wow. But yeah, this is dies at 93. So this was a few days ago. The 24th. So it was yesterday. I guess it was yesterday. Wow. Yeah. That's old. That is old. I don't, you get to a certain age and it's just like, do you want to live that old? Spouse. Yeah, so this was Adulia Day, the king. He was 88. The king was highly adored in his day. And I remember my wife telling me that the day the king died, she cried. She cried. I was trying to find this picture. Let me see. Where's my search? Why? Oh my God. Okay, ask Google about this image. I don't need to use AI. Just search. Interesting. Okay, let's stay on topic. So yeah, so R.I.P. to the Queen of Thailand, and apparently the new king, who's been king since his father died, he's like all he does is just travel around the world. And go shopping and have fun with younger women. That apparently is what they say about him. And now, because I said that, I can probably never go to Thailand. Well, that's assuming anybody ever sees this. Got some McDonald's today. They're doing Monopoly again. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's stay focused. So we need some type of manager that's going to instantiate these classes. This is where the reflection would really come in handy, and I wish. Okay, but let's keep this on. Let's keep this on point. So this would be public. Let's do it like this. Let's use some C# features. Let's get a little fancy. So we could have goal SO goal data private set. Okay. And then this would be goal data name, goal data description. Okay. All right, that's good. We'll just make this nullable. We'll make this. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. And then this will be pretty much the same thing, right? I'm going to put it in a different class for now. I am not saying that this is the final design, but I'm going to have a separate class that is a objective factory. And this is also going to be a singleton, right? We only need one factory. Static, read only. So it's going to be basically this. And then this. And then, okay. So this is basically the singleton pattern. Now this is going to be a factory. So we want to have a public function that is good. Yep, like create like AI. AI is fucking ridiculous. Okay, let's see what I'm going to. So I think the AI is trying to be a little. Whoa, what is this insane? Oh my God, look at this pattern. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Wow. Look, okay, so what I'm specifically kind of like losing my mind over is this. Like it's not is that? Wow. Okay. The reason it's red squiggly under here is because gold data is, wow. Wow. Gold data is a, wow. No, I'm a little stunned because that's just really, so basically gold data has a private set. I got to think about that another minute. But what I would really like here, I would really like, so in C++, you can define a parameter. Well, it's not used that much these days. It's used, and I think it's always been used more in C, but you can define a parameter like this, which is basically just an array of parameters of any type. And that's kind of what I want. All right. I said this was going to be a chill stream, and I'm just like blah, blah, blabbing away. So let me, I'm going to put something on to kind of like listen to. So if you're listening to me right now, we're going to be listening to not Louis C.K., Louis T. Look him up on YouTube. He's a Washington Commander YouTuber. I like him, and I like the team, so he's interesting. All right.
Is it making an impact in coverage? The guy that does blitz usually isn't getting home.
I'm going to ask AI.
They're not creative blitzes. You're not confusing the offensive line. That one kind of pissed me off, if you can't tell. Anyway, I digress. He then talked about the linebackers, which, again, music to my ears. Jordan McGee, he said, first of all, Frankie and Bobby have played exceptionally well. He protects his veteran linebackers. He's not going to let anybody talk shit about them, which is fine. We know this is a down year for Frankie, right? Frankie's had his moments, but I don't think he's being utilized the way he was utilized and turned loose last year. And so for maybe what they're asking Frankie to do, he's playing well. But for us, we saw a Tasmanian devil on the field last year that was uncaged. Right. It feels like they put the Tasmanian devil back in the cage this year. I don't like it. But
this has happened twice. What is going on?
So he protected his two veteran linebackers, but he's like, we need to.
And earlier it was saying that my connection was not that great. Let me look. I might go take a nap in a few minutes. Okay, now the connection. Okay. It says excellent connection now, so I'm not sure what's going on here. God, the UI for ChatGPT is just horrible. It's horrible. It is constantly like locking up and just like, it's just terrible. And like now the UI is just locked. Like, what the heck, man? I'm going to ask Rock. Oh, Matthew. Hey, Addie. Got you on in the background while I do some work myself. Cool. Good morning, Matthew. I got to make this bigger. Can't. I got to extend that a little. Now I can make it bigger. And then now I can shrink it just a tad. And then now I can move it back over here. All right. Yeah, ChatGPT has just been terrible lately. Okay, let's ask Grok. In C#, is there a way to have a variable number of parameters to a function with where each parameter has various types? The purpose of this is to use it for a factory method. So something like, and then widget, create widget type dot, where the ... are the variable params. Oh, a params object. Okay. Most flexible, least safe. Generic factory overloads recommended for known types. I don't want to do that. That's a lot. Builder pattern, a configuration object. Yeah, they could do a configuration object. Factory with functors. No. I don't want to do a factory with functors. And actually, like what it spit out for factory with functors is more or less the same thing as the first thing I asked it. So it's just params object. I think we'll probably go with that. Right? But that is goal. That is some wicked sin. That's very much. I think in C++, this is very similar to a C++ feature, right, or proposed feature patterns, I think it was called. Is this it? Incorporating pattern matching directly. Okay, so there's many of them, but there was a specific paper that I remember looking at. Yeah, something like this. This is similar. But that's some really nice syntax there. Like C# is just so cool. Okay, so what I want to do then is I want to have params. What is it? Object parameters. And then when okay, I have another question for AI. I love using switch expressions over switch statement. Yeah, like that's a very nice little syntax there. In the following code, when is location set? In the constructor, after the constructor? It's after the constructor runs. Visual timeline. Constructor starts, field initializers, constructor body execute, constructor ends, object initializers when object is fully constructed and returned. Okay, so that's what I thought. I figured it was after the constructor. I could get ugly. Right? That's ugly. I was saying I could get ugly by having a abstract constructor which takes param. You know what? I'm going to do it. I don't think it's that terrible. It's a little terrible. Okay, let me see what else AI recommends. Create widget type color. Best of both worlds. Overloads plus parameters fallback. Basically, AI is recommending that I just use. Yeah, AI is recommending that I just use functions with defined parameters. I don't like that at all. I mean, I know what I need to do. What I need to do is I need to turn this into a proper switch statement, which sucks. because I really like this syntax. I love this syntax. But I need to actually turn it into a proper switch statement, because then in that I can pull the actual types out of this object parameter here, right? So what would the syntax be for that? Is there a way to do that with a regular switch statement? I mean, I guess I could do something like type or switch. Oh, okay. Really? Really? I mean, that's really cool too if that actually does work. Whoa. Okay. All right. Make a struct to pass it in. That's the builder pattern. Like that's like where you make a little like configuration object or something. No, because I would really love to just have it be able to use these expressions. So, but this is, I didn't realize you could actually just pass in, so if you do switch on a variable name, it's going to use the type. That's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. That actually kind of eliminates the need for the enum that I was struggling with. I was struggling in my soul. I was struggling with an enum because what I had done was, where is it? So I really wanted to have, so right here on the goal scriptable object, I have a goal type. And what I really, really wanted was to have that type basically be an enum that is constructed from all the classes that derive from goal, but I wanted that to happen automatically. I wanted to use like reflection and the AI said you could do it, but it spit out like tons and tons of code. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'll just use an enum. However, if I can use this switch statement like this or like this, although I have to use the top one, that's fine. That's almost as good. It actually might be even better because it actually eliminates the need for this goal type at all, which is great. So here's one thing that I really like with, not that I really like, but that I kind of will enforce. Well, I do like it because I enforce it. But in switch statements, in the case statements, in the case statements inside of a switch statement, I like to, if the code between the case and the break is multiple lines, I like to have the whole thing in open and close brackets. Now, I don't know where the closure is in C#, and here's the reason why I like it. In C++, and maybe it's the same way in C#. Let me just pull up so here, I'll make this a little bit bigger. But if I do something like this, switch, I don't know, some enum, right? And then I do case, some, I don't know, we'll call it Matthew. And then I do int x equals 10, and then, print x, break. And then I do case. I would actually, as I type this out, I think it probably is the same in C#. So here, if I do int x equals 15, print x, this is a syntax error. This is a syntax error. Do you know why it's a syntax error? Do you know why? Well, in C++, it's a syntax error. I would bet, if I was a betting man, I would bet it's a syntax error in C++, or a compile. It's an error. We'll put it that way. That code's not going to compile. It's a compiler error in C++. And I would bet it's also a compiler error in C#. But does anybody know why? Can anybody tell me why? No cheating. Don't ask the AI. No cheating. I'm waiting for Matthew to tell me. Matthew knows. Don't cheat, Matthew. No cheating. All right. So the answer is, because here's the best way to remember it. Okay, let me give you a hint. Let's put it that way. What's that do? If I comment that out, what does that do? This will tell you why it's a syntax error. It's because you're double defining X, right? It's a reinitialization. Yes, it's a reinitialization of X. And you can visually see that because this is a fall through, right? If I comment out that break, that's a fall through. So now it's easier to see if I just delete it. This is valid code. This is valid code, right? The only thing that if it's not valid code because of the X, but you don't have to have a break with a case. That's how you fall through. So it's easier to see that the X is defined. Whoops, the X is defined twice. With the break, the X is defined twice because that is actually the same scope. Because you got to remember, the scope is not between the case and the break. The scope is between the open and closed bracket. So that's why if you have a complicated code within the case, that's why I'll push back, or like I always add them, or if like a programmer has if a programmer hasn't added them, I will tell them to put brackets in because of this. And this can also be like a pain in the ass. It can be a pain in the ass. So anyway, that's a little fun little thing there. So that's why I put them here. I just kind of like, if I know my case statement is going to be multiple lines, which this is going to be, I'll just automatically put it in there. Okay. Okay. So I started streaming about an hour ago. However, I've been at this computer since 5:30. I mean, I've gotten up, but I think I need to take a break. I shouldn't have started streaming. I should have started streaming much earlier. But assuming this syntax works, I think this will be good for a little factory method. Create object from scriptable object. Create objective from scriptable object. Yeah, I saw a colleague use brackets in the switch the other month and thought, what the fuck is this? Then it clicked. Yep, that's why. I mean, now if it was like a one-liner, I don't know. I would still prefer to have, honestly, I would still prefer to have the brackets, but if it's a one-liner, I'm not going to like reject a PR for it. But if it's multiple lines, I'm going to reject a PR for it. I'm going to say, hey, add brackets. Okay. All right. So basically what we need to do is this objective. So here, what we would do, I'm going to put the code in that I dream of, right? So this would be objective system, objective system dot instance. Okay, looks like the AI is on to me. Current objective. Oh. Oh, this just got a little easier. Maybe. Oof. Actually, this is going to keep going back and forth in my head. I'm going to take a little break. I got to think about this. Because I kind of do like the idea of NPCs being able to have objectives. I don't know that we would ever use it like in this game, but this pattern does, if the pattern is done well, it lends itself to having the having it so NPCs can have objectives and players can have objectives. And it was like I said earlier, so if you have an NPC that has an objective, you could have a class that's like some NPC objective controller, and that would control the NPC's progress towards accomplishing the goals and the objectives, which I think is really cool. Like I think that'd be really cool. let your subconscious figure it out while you do something else. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. That's how you automate NPCs. Interesting. Yeah, like I think. Well, yes, I mean, I don't. Maybe that's how you automate NPCs. Yes and no. Like I think there is like we have the state machine now, right? With the behaviors, like we have like the patrol behavior, we have the guard behavior. So let's look at like patrol. I think it is enemy patrol state, right? So all we do is what do we do? It's been a long time since I've looked at this code. We give it the mesh scan. We give it the mesh agent, the NPC itself. NPC push state. Wait, what? Enemy patrol state. Patrol points. Really? I put patrol points on the enemy NPC for some reason. That's weird. Why wouldn't I put the patrol points on the state? Did I maybe not have access to them? I have to look at that. That's weird. I would expect the patrol points to be in the enemy patrol state. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the points that the enemy NPC patrols, the points define the state. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Wait, let me see something. I'm not going to go changing this now, but patrol points. I'm just curious if I ever use them outside of this state. There's investigate state. So the investigate state actually does have the patrol points in the state. That's weird. I don't know why I would do that. I'm going to write a note to myself because I don't want to forget that. And by writing a note, I mean I'm going to write a bug and then I'm going to go lay down and I'm just going to like veg out. Like I said, I've been sitting here since like 5:30 working on this. So I'm just going to, I veg out. Let me see. Issues. So this is the enemy patrol state. New issue. Enemy patrol state does not have patrol points. All right, let me just do this. Add patrol points to the enemy patrol state. All right. Currently, the patrol points are a member of the enemy. Let's just do it like that. Yeah. Enemy NPC itself. Yet in the enemy investigate state, the patrol points are a member of the state. This ticket should move the patrol points out of enemy patrol, out of enemy NPC and into enemy patrol state. Long live the queen. And then queen emoji. We can have a little queen emoji right here. Perfect. All right. So just to mark it. All right. Well, thanks for watching. That was a good hour. That hour went by quickly. I will probably be back later this afternoon. Not a lot going on today. It's very quiet. My wife and I do have to go grocery shopping, but I will probably be back later on. All right. Talk to you then.